Yeah, good morning, friends. So today is our first demo session. Okay, so let us see some very basic things about computer networks. Before we move into the administration, we will just cover some basic sessions. Okay, and one of the basic session will be, let us see what is a network and what are the types of networks we have. Fine. Okay, so what exactly is a computer network? We know this very well. Computer network is connection of devices. Yeah. Suppose there are two computers there, and if the two computers are not connected by any means, not connected means they're not connected by using a cable, or they are not connected by using some wireless media, then that is not a network, right? But if there are only two computers and they are connected with each other by using a cable, then that is a network. In the same way, if there are like 2000 devices, like there are computers, servers, routers, switches, if these 2000 devices are connected with each other, then that is a computer network. So computer network is connection of devices. That's it. Okay. Now, there is one more terminology we use very often here, and that is networking. So what exactly is the difference between computer network and computer networking? Like I said, you computer network is connection of devices. So in this topology, in this diagram, you can see very well, all the devices are connected with each other. And how many devices you can see here? You can see server, router, switch, firewall, computers. You have most of the devices available here. The quantity of the devices can be like more. Like for example, there is only one server here, but in a real setup, there can be like 200 servers, or there can be like 50 servers. There is only like one switch here, but in a real setup, there can be like 10 switches and 100 switches or 200 switches. There can be some hundreds and thousands of computers, so the number of devices can increase for sure. Okay, so once you make connection between all these devices, then it is a computer network. Fine, so that is what we can see there, the devices are connected. Now, for example, imagine there is a folder here in this server. Suppose the folder name is India, and suppose in this India folder there are two files here. Let us say delhi.document, and let us say kolkata.document. There are two documents here. There are two files available inside a folder. And where is the folder here, friends? The folder is there inside a server. Okay, fine. There is a user sitting on this laptop, and the user name is, let's say, Samir. There is a user sitting on this computer, and the user name is, let's say, Shiva. We can say clearly Shiva computer or Shiva computer is connected to server, and Samir computer is also connected to server. That means they are connected with each other, so there is a computer network. But the big question that we need to address here is, Samir and Shiva, can they access a folder which is there in server? Can they access the India folder, or can they access the documents which are there in this India folder? The answer actually is yes as well as no. Means, suppose if Samir user is having permission to access India folder, he can access India folder. And suppose if Shiva user is having permission to access India folder, then Shiva user can access India folder. If there is a permission, then they can access. If there is no permission, they cannot access. So what about this permission and no permission? Who will give this permission? Of course, administrator will give the permission to the user. Okay. So see, when you take a server, when there is a data in that server, like file or a folder, by default, a user cannot connect to the server, and user cannot access data from the server until and unless you have not permitted that user, until and unless you have not allowed that user to connect to the server and access that particular folder, and in that folder a particular file. Till that time, the user cannot connect to the server, and user cannot access the files and the folders. Okay, so we have to give permission. Okay, so I'll do one thing. For Samir user, I will say let us say Samir should access the folder with read and write permission. Read and write permission means Samir user is accessing India folder. He can able to make like changes in Delhi file. He can make changes in Kolkata file. And if you want to add something, he can add something. He can remove something. He can do all these things because what we have done, what Samir user, we have given full permission. Okay. Coming to Shiva user. Suppose for Shiva user also we have given full permission here, but we have allowed Shiva user to access only Delhi file. We say Shiva user should access only Delhi file. He should not access any other file here. Any other file means the Kolkata file, or if there is any other file, he cannot access. So Shiva user is having permission to access India folder, and Shiva user is having permission to access only Delhi file. He cannot access Kolkata file. These are the permissions we need to set on that particular server and on those particular folders and files. And this concept is generally known as networking. So if I can say in a simple term, in a simple way, networking is the configuration of devices. Networking is the configuration of our devices. The devices that we have in a computer network, like computers, servers, router, switch, firewall, printers. These devices are not configured automatically. The devices will not work on their own. The devices must be configured. Devices must be configured. If you take example of your laptop, let us go with your mobile phone. So in your mobile phone right now, you can see many apps running. Maybe there is a WhatsApp, there is a like Ola or Uber, Swiggy or Zomato, or maybe you have like many other apps running in your mobile phone. Okay, they're installed there, right? But see, once you open your mobile phone, once you unlock your mobile phone, have you ever seen a particular app is running automatically by itself? Like suppose WhatsApp has opened automatically and WhatsApp is sending a message to some other person by itself. That's not possible, right? What we have to do, we have to open the WhatsApp and we have to go to that particular person name, then we have to type the message and then we need to send the message. There is a process there. That process we need to follow. In the same way, friends, server has a process, router and switch has a process, firewall has a process. There is a process that we need to follow here. There is some configuration that we have to do here. Until and unless you do that configuration, things will not work in our router and switches and servers. These devices will not work if you have not configured these devices. So each and every device must be configured, and this configuration is called networking. So the simple example here is India is a folder that have like multiple files here, and we have allowed some user to access all the files, and we have allowed some users to access only some files. Okay, all files and some files. This is what networking is all about. So networking is installation, configuration, and administration. This is what networking is all about. Installation means like, when you take a server, server is a raw machine. Server is a hardware machine. There is nothing inside their server. So what we have to do, friends, take a server, install the server operating system. Okay, configure the server operating system, and by using the server operating system, we can do administration. That's the way we need to follow. I repeat again, take this server machine, a physical machine, then in that physical machine, install the server operating system, then configure the server operating system, and by using the server operating system, we have to do the administration. This is what the work we do as administrator. This is what we need to do on every device. Take a router, configure the router, and do the administration by using router. Take a switch, configure the switch, and do the administration by using the switch. That means every device has a different way of configuration. Of course, it will be different. Like, router has a way of configuration. There are some different protocols on router like EAGRP is there, OSPF is there, RIP is there. That is a different way of configuration. Switch has a different way of configuration. Okay, firewall has a different way of configuration. Okay, server, there are different types of servers we have, and they have like different way of configuration. So all these things we have to learn in our Windows Server as well as network administration codes. But generally speaking, if someone asks you like, what is the difference between network and networking? Network is just a connection. Now, once you connect the devices, can they communicate with each other? The answer should be loud and clear. Once you connect the devices will not communicate with each other until and unless we configure something between them. Like one of the basic thing we need to configure here is we need to configure IP address. Like suppose the server IP address is 10.0.0.1. That IP address I need to enter inside the server. Suppose the laptop IP address is 10.0.0.2. And suppose this workstation IP address, Shiva computer IP address is 10.0.0.3. This IP address we need to configure inside our router, inside our server, inside our computer. Then only the machines will communicate with each other. So I hope the concept is clear here. Computer network is connection of devices, and these are the devices we have generally. Okay, these are the very common devices we have in every computer network. But again, the quantity of the devices will increase for sure. It will not be like only one server in any company. It will be more. Okay, so that is your network. And networking is, we should know as administrator how to configure those devices. So network is not a big deal. Making connection between the devices is not a big deal. For example, if you want to use a mobile phone, a smartphone, you should know how to use it. Like you should know how to send a message, you should know how to send a message over a WhatsApp, you should know how to make a video call, you should know how to make a call, you should know how to use some apps there. These are the things you should learn, right? But is it like, have you ever learned anywhere like, how to connect your mobile phone to the charger? No, right? If you just give this mobile phone to any XYZ person, he can simply connect the charger to the mobile phone. That means I'm just talking about the physical connection here. It is not a big deal to connect a charger to the mobile phone, right? Just take the pin and see where it should be connected and just insert the pin. Physical connections are something like this. Okay, there will be some topologies, there will be some diagrams and designs and all those things. There is something called star topology, bus topology, mesh topology, hybrid topology. The topologies we will see in more details when we go with the CCNA, but still the topologies will be there. But what I'm saying here is I'm saying the connection. It will not be a difficult task for you to connect. Okay, so network is not a big deal. I can say network is not even 1% of your job. Making connection is around 1% of your job. The remaining 99% will be like configurations, installations, administration. Done? Now, connections. Coming to connections. How we can connect our devices. The devices can be connected in two ways. One is wire, another one is wireless. Now, from your experience, friends, can you please tell me which one is better? Like say you're using internet for many years now. But internet is the biggest computer network. If you go to a company, any XYZ company, there can be like, 100 people working or 500 people working or even 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people working. So this is some company somewhere, and we can see some people are working, they're sitting on computers. And by the way, all the computers are connected with each other, and all these people, they are connected to server. There are many servers within their network, so they are connected to their servers. And in company, the servers will look something like this. We'll see more about server in coming classes, but these are some of the servers and routers and switches. So this is actually a server room in your company. Okay, it can be like this also. See, there are many more servers here, many more routers, switches, and all the devices we have here. Fine. Now, the concept here is we have connected devices with each other. So there are two ways of connecting devices. One is wire and another one is wireless. So like I said, a computer network, the biggest computer network is actually internet. Now we are connected with each other here. That means I am connected with your machine, you are connected with my machine. And in between we have this internet connection. Now with your experience, the internet experience, can you please tell me which network is better? Wire network is better or wireless network is better? Wireless network means, you know, we use, when you go with your mobile phone, we just enable our data, we just enable our Wi-Fi in our mobile phone, and we connect to the internet, right? Wire means, you know, normally there is a cable, that cable will be connected to the device. Of course, on computer we cannot connect a cable, but on a computer or a laptop we can connect a cable. On a mobile phone we cannot connect a cable, but on a computer and laptop we can connect a cable. So please tell me which one is better here, wire or wireless? Like, you know, I told you there is a chat box here. It is always open. I'm just sending a message here like hello. If you have any queries, if you have to say something, you can simply send me a message in the chat box. Okay, so which one is better, wire or wireless? Okay, I got an answer here as wire network is better. Of course, wire network is better compared to wireless. You know, normally people feel like, you know, people who are having like non-technical background, people who are from non-technical background, they feel like wireless network is better because they feel like, okay, there is no cable coming here, so they can move here and there. It will be very easy for them. It will be more flexible for them to move from one location to another location. Okay, there is some advantage for sure, but we have to go with the speed and we have to go with the security. Again, excellent answer, Shiva. Yes, exactly. Depends on the requirement, but generalizing, I'm just generalizing things here. So in more common ways, wire network is a better option compared to wireless. Okay, because in wire network we have more speed and we have like better security. Wireless is very limited. Like, you know, you must have internet connection in your home or hostel or wherever you're there right now. So in your home, when you connect the internet connection, obviously there is a Wi-Fi router there, right? That is a wireless device. If there are like 5 people in your home, 5 people can connect to the wireless router at the same time and they can access internet. All good. But once you cross some limit, like suppose some 100 meters or 70 meters or 80 meters, once you cross a particular limit, you will not get the signals there, right? So there is some limit there. Okay, but 100 meters or 80 meters or 70 meters is more than enough for us within our house. Okay, so it depends again on the scenario, but I'm saying like in most of the scenarios, if you go with a wire network, that is a better option. Wireless network is a better option if a company is something like this. Let me just take you to one company here. If your computer network is spread something like this, see here, there is some XYZ company here. It's an open hall, and we can see there are many computers here. All the people are sitting on their computers here, right? So if there is a setup like this, then wireless can be a better option because, you know, for wireless network to pass the signals, there should be some open place. There should not be anything in between. There should not be any walls or there should not be anything. So the signals may not pass so easily. The signals will go down. In the nearby area, it can pass, but you know, if the area is very far, then it is not possible for that wireless router to pass the signals like up to like long distance. 100 meters is a long distance in a computer network. I'm saying 100 meters, only meters. Okay. So if there is a case like this, if there is a network like this, then we can go with a wireless. But you know, in companies, they make cabins and all those things normally. So cabins will be packed cabins and all those things, right? So in those cases, going with the wireless network is not a better option. So better go with cable network. And cable network will look something like this. These are the cables actually. Okay, and see, these are again some cables. The color of the cable can be anything. Before it was like blue, now it is like orange. So no need to worry about the color. This is your cable. And where these cables are connected here? The cables are connected to a device called switch. The cables are connected to a device called switch. Let me just show you a switch first. These are your switches, friends. So the cables are connected to this switch. The switch can have like 24 ports, 32 ports, or you know, 64 ports or 48 port. It depends. This is called one port. So how many ports are there on a switch? That many devices can be connected. If there are 48 ports, then 48 devices can be connected. 48 devices means a computer, switch, router, firewall, server, printer, another computer, another server. Like this 48 different devices can be connected. You can connect all computers there, or you can connect different machines there, whatever. Okay, so this is the place where we connect our device, that is a switch. Now, how the cable will look here? You must have seen this cable before actually. It will be like this. You can see clearly. The blue color cable that you see here is your, yeah, this is the cable. And this white color one, what you see here is called this one. It is called RJ45 jack. That is the name of that jack. It is called RJ45 jack or RJ45 connector. This is called RJ45 connector here. This one is again RJ45 connector. Okay. So this cable we will insert inside this particular RJ45 jack, or we call it as NIC card also. So this is a cable, and this particular thing is available on every device. This particular jack is available on every device. This is our computer motherboard actually. And when you see this computer motherboard, we have different ports here, and we know most of the ports here, like way to connect a pen drive, way to connect a keyboard and mouse, way to connect a headphone and all those things. And say we have one more port here, this one. This is your LAN port. There are different names here. We can call it as local area network port, or we can call it as Ethernet port or NIC card. There are different names. We'll see all the names and differences, more details in coming classes. But as of now, that is called local area network port, where a cable is connected. The internet cable can be connected there, or within your computer network, whatever cable is there, that cable can be connected there. So both the cables will be connected on this local area network port. Every machine must have minimum one local area network card. Every machine, if you go and check your laptop or a computer, there is one local area network card available for sure. And if that local area card is not working, if that Ethernet card or NIC card, whatever names you call it, if that particular card is not working, then the device can be working. The computer will work, but that computer cannot be connected to the network, whether it is internet or whether it is intranet. The computer network cannot be connected to the computer cannot be connected to the computer network. So there should be minimum one local area network port on every device. There are certain devices like routers and servers where the local area network ports will be more. Why there will be more, that we will see again, but I'll give one general example now. Local area network port is a port from where the data will come inside and data will go outside. That is your local area network port. Makes sense? The data will come inside and the data will go outside. Now, for example, imagine there is a small house somewhere. How many gates will be there? Only one gate will be there, right? Like suppose one floor or two floors are there. There will be like one or two gates, one gate maximum. That one gate is more than enough for people to come inside and go outside, right? But what if you go to some shopping mall? Will there be only one gate in a shopping mall? Of course, no. If there is only one gate in a shopping mall, then you know what happens? There is more traffic there. So traffic delay will be there. It will be difficult for people to come inside and go outside. So what they do, they have like multiple gates. Some gates are there only for taking people in. Some gates are there for only for sending people out. So if there is a server is a place where there is more traffic. Technically, we call traffic here also. What we call traffic? Traffic means like, when people are moving on the road, there is more traffic, we call it as, because many vehicles are moving and many people are moving. So more traffic is generated there. So the same terminology we use here, we also call it as traffic. Traffic means more data is passing here. So in a server, obviously more data is passing. Like for example, you're sitting on your machine, like Shiva user is sitting on his machine. That means Shiva is sending and receiving traffic on his machine only. That's it. But to a server, Shiva is connected, Samir is connected, Sachin Tendulkar is connected, Shah Rukh Khan is connected, John Cena is connected. All these people are connected to this server, right? So more traffic is entering into the server and more traffic is coming out of the server. So obviously on a server, we should have multiple local area network ports. We should have more local area network ports. So the traffic movement will be more easy. Traffic movement will be like very smooth. Done. This is what we have to do. So this is the local area network where we connect our cable. So we have seen the cable, as well as we have seen like how we will connect this cable. So it's not a rocket science. Again, we can see clearly this is just a cable. We need to connect the cable. Okay, one thing that we need to understand here is one thing that we need to learn here is how to make that cable. Normally, you know, there are some ready-made cables available, but ready-made cables will be a bit more costly. So normally there is a process called crimping. Once you open that cable, it will be something like this. There are two types of wires we use in a computer network. One is called fiber optic cable, and the second one is called, generally it is called CAT cable, but UTP cable is the technical name, UTP cable, or we call it as CAT cable. CAT means category. There is something called category 5 and category 6. And we have 7 also, but generally we go with CAT 5 and CAT 6 cable. So these are the two cables which we use in computer network. 95 to 98% cases, or I can say 98% cases, we go with UTP cable only. Within our computer network, 97 to 98% cases, we go with UTP cable. And the cable that I showed you just now is your actually UTP cable. Where is that cable? Let me go there again. This cable is your UTP cable, or we can call it as CAT cable. Okay, this is the cable we use in 98% cases, because the CAT cable will come in this shape. And when you go and check your motherboard, when you go and check your computer or laptop, you will get this particular NIC card only. So 98% cases still today we are using this UTP cable. So it will be like this. The color, the body color can be any color. See, you can see here. Every company can manufacture in any color, like we can see red, orange, blue, green, all these colors. So no issues about these colors. But what you should know here is you should know how to crimp. This is one process that you should learn. This is called crimping tool actually. Okay, so by using this crimping tool, you should know how to make this connection. The RJ45 jack will be separate. See here, it shows in a clear way. Okay, so this red color one is called crimping tool, and this is a cable obviously, and these are your RJ45 connectors. So there is a process of making that crimping. There is a color code we need to follow, like you can see colors here. Every cable has some 4 colors, 4 pair of color: orange, green, blue, brown. These are the 4 colors, and the other 4 colors will be orange white, blue bright, or green white, and brown white. So these are the 4 pairs, and totally 8 cables will be there. So you should know how to make these cables, and you should know how to just crimp that particular cable. I will show you the types of cables when we go with CCNA. There is something called straight cable, cross cable, rollover cable. All these cables I will show you, but crimping wise, you know, you should know how to do that. If you can watch some videos somewhere, it will be benefit for you, but still you should know how to make that cable, how to just remove that body cover, and how to arrange the wires and all those things. All these things I'll share in CCNA. This is part of CCNA actually. But as of now, just try to remember one thing. You should know how to make a cable, especially this CAT cable. Okay. Now there is one more cable here that is called fiber optic cable. This is the second cable that we used in our computer networks. And by the way, fiber optic name is more famous for some years now, right? You might have heard about this fiber optic cable also. And this fiber optic cable will look something like this. The body, the outer side will be like this, and the inner side will be like this. Fiber optic cable and CAT cable. One of the major difference between these two cables is the CAT cable can carry your data up to 100 meters. 100 meters. 100 meters means suppose from first floor to, let us say, like 8th floor or 9th floor, approximately it will be like 100 meters, or maybe like 10th floor. Your CAT cable can carry your data up to only 100 meters. But coming to this fiber optic cable. Fiber optic cable can carry your data up to some hundreds of kilometers. I'm saying kilometers. Like suppose from South Delhi to North Delhi. Suppose the distance between South Delhi and North Delhi is, let's say, 60 kilometers. So only one cable can carry your data from South Delhi to North Delhi without dropping the data. It has that capacity. The speed of this fiber optic cable is more compared to the CAT cable. The data transmission capability is more in fiber optic cable compared to the CAT cable. So then why we are not using CAT cable? I said you like 98% cases within our company we go with CAT cable only, right? Why we are not going with this fiber optic cable? There are some reasons. One reason is, in CAT cable we have speed up to like 1000 MB. 1000 MB is a huge speed. That much it will support. 1000 MB. 1000 MB is obviously very huge. Right now I'm using internet connection which has only 40 Mbps speed. It has only 40 Mbps speed. I take like 4-5 online classes a day. Many people are connected to my Wi-Fi router in my home. I just access many other things like YouTube. I watch some movies or some games and all those things. Still, 40 Mbps per month will be like more than sufficient for me. 40 Mbps means I have like 500 download speed, 500 download data. So it is more than enough. 40 Mbps is more than enough for me. But my machine is supporting how much? 1000 Mbps. So this CAT cable is more than sufficient for us to communicate between the devices. The speed that we have on the CAT fiber optic, the speed that we have on this NIC card, the RJ45 NIC card is more than enough. So no need to go with this fiber optic port. That is one reason. Second reason is fiber optic ports are more costlier. Fiber optic NIC cards and fiber optic cables are more costlier than your RJ45 NIC or the CAT cable. Those ports are more costly. So when you go and check your machine, you will not see this particular option anywhere on your computer. See, you can see these connections here. Just go and check your laptop or a desktop. These cables we cannot connect anywhere because 95-98% cases the laptops and computers that we are getting nowadays till today, we don't have this particular port option there. We have only that RJ45 port option. Remember I showed you that RJ45, this one. In 98 to 99% cases, we have only this option in our laptops and computers. We still don't have this particular option. So where exactly these cables are used then? Fiber optic cables. Fiber optic cables are used majorly on servers and routers and switches, the high configuration devices where there is more data moving. On one computer, how much data is moving? On one computer, the data is moving for a one user, right? One computer, data is moving for a one user. But if you go to server, thousands, hundreds and thousands of people are connected there. Hundreds and thousands of people are saving data. Hundreds and thousands of people are accessing data. So that is what it will do in a there is a place where these fiber optic ports are available, servers, but not on every server actually. On some servers, high configuration servers. So if you want to take a server with fiber optic port, we should specially see that server and we should take that particular server. And that server should be connected to a switch. So on that switch also this fiber optic port option should be available. So if you go with like big companies, they're only on some devices they go with this fiber optic ports. So till today we are in like 2021. Very soon we will end 2021 also, right? I'm still saying like 97 to 98% computers and laptops we have these ports. And if you want to take this fiber optic port on a server or a router or a switch, we need to go and take a server with that particular port. Server, when you purchase a server, there are many things we need to consider in a server. That is what we will see tomorrow. That is the class for tomorrow. But anyhow, right now just imagine like this port is not available on all the devices. Although there is more speed, but cost will be more for sure. Okay, so these are some of the reasons why people are not still going with this fiber optic port. But hopefully after like 4-5 years, at least like 3-4 years, the fiber optic ports will be more common on all the devices. Like you will get fiber optic ports on computers and laptops also. Hopefully after some years. But as of now, this is not so common. Okay. So these are the only two cables we have in computer network. We can go with like UTP cable or we can go with like fiber optic cable. But till today, like I said majority of cases, I'm saying 95, 97, 98% cases, we go with UTP cable within our computer network. There are 1 or 2% cases where we can go with like fiber optic port, and those 1 or 2% cases are where there is a big setup, where there are some thousands and thousands of people connected to the server. There we can go with this fiber optic cables. Done. What are the types of UTP cables available that we will see again, like I said in CCNA? There is something called straight cable, there is something called cross cable, there is something called rollover cable. All these things I'll show you there, and which cable should be used where, what is the cable between switch and switch, which cable should be used between switch and router, which cable should be used between switch and computer. All these things. Say this is a local area network. So I'll just show you like which cable should be used in which between devices. Okay, if you connect a router directly to the computer, there is some cable. If you connect router to the switch, there is a cable. If you connect switch with another switch, there is some other cable. This is a very small thing, but it is a very, very important part of our administration, so that we will see when we go with our switching concept. Okay, friends, so these are the cables we have, but like you said, wire is a better option. So majority of cases we will go with wire only. Wireless is a limited network. Wireless can be used in a small geographical area, and that has some disadvantages. So most of the administrators and most of the companies, they prefer to go with the cable network. Okay, now when I talk about networks, actually there are two types of networks we have. One is called internet. Another one is intranet. Internet means for public. See, right now we are connected to internet. You just take the internet connection, you pay some money, you can connect to internet. I just take the internet connection, I pay money monthly, I just connected to internet monthly or quarterly or annually, whatever. That is internet, common for all. Like suppose if I go and sell a google.com here, I'm right now connected to Google server. You can connect to Google server, some other person can connect to Google server. Right now some millions of people are connected to Google server within like India, right? This is your internet. But you know, there are many companies we have. Like we have a company like, let's go with uh, Infosys. See, I'm able to connect to Infosys here. I'm able to connect to the Infosys website here, right? There are different types of servers we have. One of the server is a web server. So I just connected to my Infosys server there, Infosys web server. Okay. But is it possible, like, can I connect to Infosys database server? Can I make some changes here? Can I add something here? Can I just remove this butterfly, or can I just remove the ducks, and can I remove something? Can I add some? Can I remove this girl here, and can I put my photo there? No, I'm just able to access their web server. But can I access all the other servers which are there in Infosys? No, because Infosys one server is for internet, that is for public, but they have many more servers within their company. So those servers are known as intranet. That network is known as intranet. Intranet means private. Okay, let me just go and select Infosys Hyderabad campus. There is a big campus in Hyderabad. This is a campus. So if you go to this particular campus, Infosys campus, inside this Infosys campus, can you go inside and can you start working on a computer there? Of course, no, that is not allowed there, right? Because I'm not working in Infosys. I'm not part of this particular company. So I cannot go there and I cannot work on any computer. So the computer network that they have inside the company is called intranet. And right now, how we are connected with each other by using internet, that is public. These are the two networks. So whether it is internet or whether it is intranet, I repeat, whether it is internet or whether it is intranet, the devices will be same, the configuration will be same, the administration will be same. Some extra devices will be there within intranet, some other servers will be there over the intranet. These are some of the differences, but overall things will be same in internet as well as intranet. There is a DNS server in internet, there is a DNS server over the intranet. There is a DHCP server in internet, there is a DNS server over intranet. So when we talk about a computer network, we are talking about internet, intranet, everything. Okay, but just if you want to, like, separate things, internet is for public, anyone can connect, anyone can access. Intranet is for private. But over the internet, there are some services we are using, like Gmail service and web email service and web service are the very common services we use. But within the company, there are some services which we use. Like for example, over the internet, we have a service called email service that is provided by Gmail. You can create an account in Gmail. I can create an account in Gmail. Fine, there is no problem there. Within our internet also, we can have one mail server, but this is your private mail server. Can I send an email to you by using Gmail? Of course I can do. Can you send me an email by using Gmail? Of course you can do, right? That is like public. But private means when you work in a company, like suppose Samir and Shiva and work, these people are working in Infosys. So their mail ID will be samir@infosys.com, shiva@infosys.com. Can they send and receive emails? They can send and receive emails within their companies. Samir can send an email to Shiva, Shiva can send an email to Samir, but these emails are there within their company. Once they go out of the company, once they go their home, can they access those emails? No, they cannot access those emails. This is the difference, friends. Email is an email. How to send an email? We know this very well. So one is we are sending an email over the internet. Another one is we are sending an email within our company. So this is the major difference between internet and intranet. So no need to worry about the network that we are learning. If you know how to configure routers, switches, servers, the configuration will be same whether it is internet or intranet. But just for understanding, one is a public network that is common for all. One is a private network that is only for that company's use. Done? Okay, so let me just do some revision here. We know what is a network, that is connection of devices. We know what is networking. Networking is installation, configuration, and administration. And just remember one thing, friends, connection of devices will not make devices communicate with each other. Connection of devices is only connection. We should make configuration. We should do some installation, configuration, and administration. Then only devices will communicate with each other, whatever device, whether it is servers, routers, switches, or whatever. Okay. And coming to connections, we have like different types of connections, wire connection and wireless connection. And we know this very well, like wire is a better option compared to wireless because of speed and security. Coming to flexibility, wireless is a better option, right? You can just take your mobile phone and you can just go to any other place. You can just travel from Hyderabad to Vijayawada. You can travel from Hyderabad to Chennai and you can still be connected to the internet. That is wireless. So in some cases it is better, but overall in a computer network, it is not better. Wireless is not better. Okay, done. And then we have seen the cables here, fiber optic cable and UGP cable. So we know which cable will be used where and which is the most common we have. So this Cat5 and Cat6 cable is the most common cable we have. Fiber optic cable is not so common in devices. It is common only in some high configuration devices like high configuration servers, routers, switches, and all those things. Done. And the last thing we have seen for today is the difference between internet and intranet, and who is working in internet, who is working in intranet. We are right now, we are simply accessing internet, but there are some people who are working for internet, right? There are some people who are configuring routers, switches, servers. Okay, all these things they are configuring. So who are these people? These are the same people who have done MCSE, CCNA. That's it. These are not like special people. These are the people they started their career from learning Windows administration and network administration. So these people can work over the internet as well as they can work within a intranet. Obviously, 99% cases you will get a job within the company, within a company like say Infosys or within a company like say Wipro or whatever company name you can say. But still, if you get an opportunity to work over the internet, you can work over the internet. Some ISP actually, internet means internet service provider. There also you can work. So I guess this is like more than enough, friends, for today. This was like a very basic demo session. Tomorrow we will see like servers and types of servers and how to take a server and all those things, hopefully. So if there is any doubt here, any question regarding today's topic or any other thing, feel free to send me a message and feel free to ask the question. Okay, so hopefully we can address those things and we can stop the class for today. Okay, so what do you know, friends?
Sir, you will be covering CCNA also, or it is just MCSE?
This 8:30 class is for MCSE, Samir, but hopefully like after 3-4 days or maybe next Monday, we'll start CCNA morning 7 o'clock. I'll be taking CCNA also, but it will be at some other time.
So in this batch, we cannot have CCNA, I mean, in the same timing?
That's not possible, right? Because MCSE will take around 1 month to finish, 35 days to finish. Then if you want to have CCNA at the same time, then first you should finish MCSE, then you should go with CCNA. But that's not possible. So CCNA will be morning 7 a.m. and MCSE will be like same time, 8:30 a.m.
Okay, can you share the syllabus of MCSE, please?
Okay, I just inform the management. Management will share the syllabus with you.
Okay.
Management will share all the details with you. But again, MCSE will be at 8:30 and CCNA will be from 9:30. Sorry, MCSE is from 8:30 and CCNA is from morning 7 a.m. Before this class, actually, MCCNA will be there after like some days.
Can you provide any material related to
Yeah,
MCSE?
sure. I'll provide the materials. I'll provide the first of all, we'll be providing all the recorded classes to you. That is the one thing. And the second thing is we'll provide you the practical books, the lab manuals I have created. I'll provide all those things as well as I'll provide you some documents related to our configurations and all those things. I have created everything. So within like a couple of days, hopefully I'll provide you all the details.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
It will cover the exam also. I mean, we after going through the class, we can appear in the exam also.
Okay, that's a good question. Can we go for the exam? First of all, like there is no exam for MCSE. The exam is there only for CCNA. No, MCSE exams, Microsoft people, they're not conducting MCSE exams now. Okay, so we have exam only for like CCNA. There is a one thing. Second thing is learning is a different process. Exam is altogether a different ball game. Why I'm saying like this? When you go to exam, actually there is a process to go for exam. Okay, let me just see what we can do in learning process first. In learning, we are learning the administration part. I repeat, in learning, we are learning our administration part, like how to configure devices like routers, switches, servers, computers, and all those things. That is what we are learning here. Okay, but coming to exam, when you go to exam, there is something called DUMS. If you go to like CCNA exam, for example, in CCNA we have 45 to like 60 questions. They will ask you between this many questions, 45 to 60 questions. And most of the questions will be like multiple choice questions. Multiple choice questions will be always easy, right? 1 or 2 practicals will be there. So what practicals can come, that we'll see in our class. But as of now, just say there are 45 to 60 questions. Like suppose I am writing exam today, I may get 47 question. You're writing exam today, you may get like 55 question. It depends. Fine, we have this many questions and answers. This many questions, we need to answer all these questions. Total marks will be 1000, and out of 1000 you should get 825 to pass your exam. So once you pass your exam, you will be called as CCNA certified person. I did CCNA certification 11 years before, 2010 or 2011. I have done my CCNA examination. Okay, fine. This was the examination pattern then. This is examination pattern now. Clear? But the question was, can we pass our exam after completing CCNA course? I can say one thing, friends. After completing CCNA course, you can work as an administrator in any company. You can face the interview in any company. Okay. These are the things you can do. But can you pass the exam? The answer is no. You cannot pass the exam. So to pass the exam, to pass your certification, there is a process, and that process is we should go and purchase these DUMS. In these DUMS, we have suppose around 300 questions and answers. How many questions and answers here, friend? 300, approximately 300. It can be 250 or it can be 350 or whatever. But say let's select 300. So take these DUMS and prepare these 300 questions. So when you prepare these 300 questions, like I said, your majority of questions will be multiple choice questions, right? So when you prepare these 300 questions, and when you go to exam, how many questions are coming? Between 45 to 60. So all these 45 to 60 questions will come from these 300 questions only. This is the way to go for examination, friends. After completing the course, no person can write exam. Not only with me. In case suppose if you do any other course with any other trainer, you will not pass that particular exam, because passing an exam is a different thing. Learning is a different thing. What we are learning here is the administration. Administration is how to configure, how to troubleshoot, how to manage. All these things is administration. But in examination, the questions will be like, some technical questions will be there. Technical questions in the sense, like if I ask you like, what is the name of the country in which you are living? If you say India, of course it is correct. If you say Bharat, it is correct. If you say Hindustan, it is also correct, right? You call this country by different names. So they will give some options. They will give like some more options here. They give 10 options and they will ask you to choose all that are correct. So I need to choose India, Bharat as well as Hindustan. Then my answer is correct. This will be the interview question. So some technical questions will be there. Okay, so it will not be easy for you to write the exam after learning the course. After learning the course, you can work in any company, you can face any interview, that is for sure. But coming to exam, we need to simply take DUMS and we need to write the exam. Prepare DUMS for any exam actually, not only for CCNA. If you're going for like, any Microsoft exams, or if you're going with like any cloud computing, virtualization, security, ethical hacking, if you're going with any of the exams, we should take DUMS, prepare DUMS and write the exam. That is the only way possible. I know some people personally, what they have done, like suppose I'm living with my friend in some hostel or somewhere, and one of my friend has already purchased the DUMS and he's preparing for the exam. I have met some people, what they have done, they took the DUMS first. DUMS means we need to simply memorize the questions and answers, right? So these people, they have taken the DUMS and they have prepared the exams, they wrote the exam, they passed the exam, then they came and learned the course. I will not recommend you to go in this way actually. That is not the way to approach any technology. First do the course, and when you read the DUMS, you can understand the questions and answers in DUMS very well. You'll get more knowledge there. So for examination, you should go with DUMS. For interviews and job, you should learn the course. These are two different things. I hope you understood what I said here. I repeat again. For examination, you should go and take DUMS and prepare DUMS, and the questions will come from DUMS only. That is for examination. And for learning course, why we are learning course? We are learning course to understand the technology, to face the interview, and to work in a company as an administrator. This is what the course is all about. Done. So if you take DUMS today, within 15 days, you can become a CCNA certified person. That is possible. But can you get a job only on a certification? No, interview will be there for sure, right? You have provided your resume there, CV, resume, whatever you say. Once you provide your CV, you have mentioned in that CV like you are CCNA certified person. But once you show CCNA certified person, the company will not hire you. They will take the interview for sure. So that is what we are learning in course, how to face the interview. I have already created, remember I told you, I have created some interview questions and answers. So I'll be sharing all these questions and answers with you. That then it will be easier for you to like just face the interview. After completing the course, if you read my questions and answers, you feel like, okay, this is what we have learned and this can be the question from a particular topic. See, every topic has some questions. Every topic we have some questions. So those questions will be same anywhere. If you face the interview somewhere in Australia, somewhere in Europe, somewhere in USA, somewhere in India, the interview questions will be same all over the globe. So those interview questions I have created. Okay, and coming to DUMS, actually I was expecting a question like from where to take DUMS. So if you have to take DUMS, there is a place called, there is a website, you can go and visit that website, Exam Collection. Just go to this exam collection website, and here we can see many companies. We can see Microsoft. So once you click on Microsoft, you can see certifications related to Microsoft. Cisco, here we can see certifications related to Cisco. See, I'll go to Microsoft now. I'm just scrolling here. See how many exams are there. Every exam, like this is your Microsoft Azure fundamental. This is exam related to Azure. That is your cloud. This is exam related to DevOps. Okay, scroll down. This is exam related to Windows 10. Every exam has a code. Microsoft 365 fundamentals exam code is MS900. So see, these are the exams. And if you go to like CCN or Cisco, actually, once you go to Cisco, here we can see many exams again. This is a course that we are learning, 200-301, Cisco Certified Network Associate. So this exam you need to attempt. This exam you need to write. And what is your code? 200-301. There are many more exams from CCN, friends. See, all these are different codes here. All these are different exams here. But which exam you are attempting right now? 200-301. And these are the dumps. You should take these dumps. There are totally 275 questions and answers. Last update was on September 19th. That is like around 20 days before. So how much they are charging? They are charging $80 for these dumps. But you know, 100% guarantee the exams, the questions will come from these dumps only. So you can see some messages here from France. Someone is there like James. He said I passed the exam, something. Someone is commenting from Belgium. Someone is from Vietnam. Someone is from India. So see, this is the way to write the exam. So from today, just remember one thing forever. Whenever you're approaching or whenever you're learning any course, learning is a one process and exam is a one process. Learning is a harder process actually. Exam is not a harder process. Normally we feel like exam will be difficult, right? But in this case, in our IT, like just go to Amazon. I just click on Amazon and these are the certifications provided by Amazon company. So just go to that certification, whichever certification you're writing there, and just take the dumps, prepare the dumps and go for exam. Job done. You will become a CCNA certified or MCC certified or cloud certified or whatever. Just try to remember this. But again, learning is the main part. Certification will not get you a job. Certification can take you only till the interview. We have to face the interview. We need to answer the questions and we should know how to configure the routers, switches, servers and all those things. Then only you'll get a job. So that is what you are learning in this course. Done. Anything else, friends, for today?
No, sir, we are good.
Okay,
Yeah, we
fine.
are.
So, yeah. Thanks again. Thanks for joining and see you tomorrow. And hopefully tomorrow we will see like what is a computer and what is a server. What is the difference between a physical computer and physical server? So like, it will take some more days for us to go into the administration. But before we directly enter into the administration, we have to cover all the basic things and we are in a better position to go and learn our administration part. This is part of our course. We are not just added this from our side. This is part of our course. Okay, so it will take some more days for us to complete our basics and then we can go into the administration part. Okay, so this video will be uploaded on YouTube channel within like 2 hours. So the starting 3-4 videos will be available on YouTube. After like 3-4 days, the videos will be directly, the classroom recorded sessions will be directly shared with you to your mail ID. So there you can access those videos. Okay, like I said, each and every class is a recorded class from day number 1 till the last day. You'll be getting all the recorded classes. And coming to the interview questions and answers, I'll be sharing the interview questions and answers with you very soon. And coming to the lab books and the materials, I'll be sharing all the materials with you, as well as softwares. I'll share with you what are the softwares available. I'll share with you. Okay, so you'll get all the things that you need for learning and practice. Okay, done. That's it, friends. That's it for today, and see you tomorrow at same time, 8:30. I'll just write here so that you can remember. MCSE is from 8:30 and CCNA we will start from after like some days. I'm not sure when. of like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days maybe. CCNA will be at 7 a.m. So I can say one thing, in next 40-45 days you can finish your MCSE as well as CCNA. CCNA will be from 7 to like maximum 8:10, 8:15. Then there will be a break for like 15 minutes or so. Then you can come for like MCSE class. Okay, that's it friends. That's it for today. Thanks again for joining. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow. Bye.